Right, so now I've got all the programs and options unlocked. Ready to see them all? We're going to turn it on. Right, program selection. So we've got dark garments, which is at 1000 RPM at 40 degrees. It's max at 40 degrees. The spin's always set on maximum on every cycle that you select. So if we go to extras, we can have rinse hold. Then we've got denim, max spin is 1000 RPM, max temperature 40. The cycle's already up, so you can see the difference. You can only have rinse hold. So we've got indoor sportswear. It's 31 minutes long. Max temperature 40. And we can have extras of rinse hold. We've got outdoor sportswear, a max spin of 1000 RPM. It's preset at 30. If we go up to 40, it doesn't affect the time. And then we've got 50, 55, 60. So it goes anything 55 and below is 5 minutes less. Likely because it will probably do some form of cool down when you select 60 degrees. I think this is going to be more likely based off the EasyCare cycle. Right, oh, well we've got intensive, pre-wash, starch, stop and rinse hold. So first off we'll select intensive. So intensive adds on 10 minutes. If I select 50, yeah, so it doesn't affect the time in the fact that it adds on 5 minutes. Pre-wash is an 8-minute pre-wash cycle. Then we've got starch, stop. Obviously it stops at 30 minutes. Put starch in. Then we've got rinse hold as well. I'll just show you rinse hold. So rinse hold just basically emits the final spin look. So obviously the final spin is 5 minutes long. If we take rinse hold off, and then I can go into this, we can turn all the way down to without spin. It goes down to 35 minutes long, and that means that there are intermittent spins as well in this cycle, so it also cancels them. Unfortunately, unlike the domesticated machines, it doesn't add on extra rinses. Well, saying that, I've not tested it yet. Then we've got hard objects, and if you notice there's no spin, not even without spin, just nothing there. We can go up to 60. So just like the sportswear side, the outdoor sports, it's 5 minutes longer. This time we can only have a pre-wash and rinse hold. Pre-wash is 6 minutes long. So if it's 6 minutes long, it's not going to do an intermediate spin afterwards. Then we've got kitchen linen. It's preset at 95. And we'll go all the way down to 40. So we'll start 40 then. So it's 1 hour 2 for 95. 60 should be the same. And then that's where it changes. So 65 and above is 1 hour 2, and it's because it has to use the heater. This is quite good. Obviously it uses pure hot water and cold, but it's really accurate at getting the right temperature first time around. So if it needs to use the heater, it's literally like 2 minutes, but once you start going above that, it needs to use the heater, and therefore the longer it takes. Max spin 1400 RPM, likely to be based on just a normal cotton cycle. Pre-wash is an extra 12 minutes long. We've got table linen, because this is the hotel version of programs. So the table linen is like all the table covers that are going to get covered in food from your guests. Max spins 1000 RPM. Max temperature, you can have between 30, that's 40, that's 55, and 60. There we go, and that adds on 5 minutes as well. We can have intensive, which adds on 10 minutes. We've got pre-wash, which adds on an 8-minute pre-wash. We've got starch stop there. We've got water plus, which only ups the water level. This is set to give an extra water and extra rinse, so it doesn't use extra rinse on this. Oh, interestingly, water plus and pre-wash is an 11-minute cycle. Very interesting. So, about it. Right, so pre-wash is, oh no, that's weird. So the pre-wash is 11 minutes long. And with intensive and pre-wash, yeah, it doesn't seem to change it as such. So once you start adding them all, obviously they'll come up there. And that's the thing with this. You've got 5 different options you can select. You can't have rinse hold or starch stop. You can only have one or the other. But they all come up there, which is pretty cool. Then we've got curtains. I've not shown you this one yet. It's max spin of 800 RPM. You can have up to 40, which doesn't affect the time. And then we've got extras like just pre-wash by the looks of things. It's a 7-minute pre-wash, which is a bit odd. So what if it does a spin afterwards, I'm not really too sure. That'd be quite interesting. Then we've got delicate curtains. Max temperature again 40. I've shown you this actually, so it's already on my channel. We've got pre-wash, which adds on a 7-minute pre-wash. Now it might be 7 minutes long because of how much water it takes on. It does take on a lot, which is understandable. Then we've got bed linen, which is 50 minutes long. Again, it's on my channel. We can go all the way up to 95, which adds on 6 minutes. I'm going to presume it's going to change there. Oh no, 65 is 5 minutes long, 70 degrees, 6 minutes long. And we can go all the way down to 40. So, we can only have rinse hold, and that's it. No other options. Pillows, again, it's on my channel. Max spins 1400 RPM. I recommend turning it down a bit actually, because it's a bit too fast I think for pillows. It's preset at 40, but I last it at 60, which adds on 5 minutes of time. Obviously from there, and then extra. And the only option we can have is rinse hold. We're up to now. Then we've got thermal disinfectant, 15 minutes at 85 degrees. So what this does is once it reaches 85 degrees, it will hold it at 85 degrees for 15 minutes. And it's called thermal disinfection because it means you don't actually need any detergent at all containing bleach to make it work. Right? Just by the humidity at 85 degrees, it's going to kill everything inside. everything. So that's all bacteria, all viruses, anything. 100%. Now, I use this program, and when it gets to 85, it really does hold it there. It does say like temperature hold or something when it gets there, so obviously temperature is only 85 degrees. You can go down to 400 RPM. That's bizarre. It's the first time where you're limited on your final spin. So there's no spin option. And we can have a pre-wash, which adds on 9 minutes. Weird. Right, now where it gets different is this. Chemical disinfection, 10 minutes at 70 degrees. Now if you can use something like bleach or something, what you'll do is once you heat 70, you'll heat it at 10 minutes, and this should, along with the chemical disinfection, will get rid of all bacteria and viruses. Even though at 70 degrees you'll get rid of pretty much all bacteria, to be honest, at that point, but not viruses. Anyway, pre-wash is, that right? 11 minutes long. Weird. And again, you're limited to 400 RPM. You can't go to no spin, which is a bit bizarre. Then we got a chemical disinfection at 20 minutes at 60 degrees. Again, limited spin, your limited temperature look, and then we've got our extras, and we can only have a pre-wash, which is what, 10 minutes long? 11 minutes long. It's just bizarre how it's 11 minutes long. No in between. Then we've got chemical disinfection, 20 minutes at 40 degrees. So it's pretty much the same cycle. You're going to be limited there to 400 RPM. You can only have 40 degrees. And we can only have pre-wash, which is 10 minutes long. Makes sense. Then we go down again, and we've got so we've got the workwear programs now. So we've got flour. So this is basically the bakers' uniforms. We're not limited on spin. Temperature is 40 to 95. So 40 degrees is 47 minutes long. 60 degrees is 52 minutes long. 70 degrees is 53 minutes long. And then obviously all the way to space. Extras only, you can only have a pre-wash, which is 9 minutes long, and you can have rinse hold. So then we've got Flour Plus. If you notice, it's jumped up quite a bit now, so it's now 1 hour 4. Again, we can have 40, there's 50, there's 60, show you change, there's 70, 2 minutes jump this time. And extras, again, we can have a pre-wash, which is 8 minutes long. Makes sense. And then go down again. So we've now got grease and fat. Right, so max spin again, not limited. Grease and fat. You've got a max temperature, a minimum temperature of 40, which is 55 minutes long. 60 at 1 hour long. 70 at 1 hour too long, and a max temperature of 80 degrees. And then we can have pre-wash, where it adds on an 8-minute pre-wash. And we can go back. This jog wheel isn't made to last forever. Well, to be honest, it's the middle bit that's not made to last forever. Right, 40 degree, 40 grease and fat, max spin 1400. It's 5 minutes longer. We can go down to 40, which is obviously 1 hour long. 60 is 1 hour 5, and then sort of 70 and above is 1 hour 7. But this time we can go all the way up to 95. Extras, we have a pre-wash. But this time it adds on a 13-minute pre-wash. We'll just go down to 60. Yeah, a 13-minute pre-wash. Then we've got workwear. Right. Right, so workwear is 59 minutes long. This is for like uniforms and stuff. Minimum temperature 40, max temperature of 80 degrees. And this time we've got more different times than usual, which is a bit weird. Like at 45, it's only 54 minutes long. And then 60 is 59, and then 65 is something else. And it's a bit weird. So, yeah. Extras. We have a pre-wash, which will do a 20-minute pre-wash. That's impressive. Wow. Then we've got Workwear Plus, where the time's it's a minimum of 60 degrees, 70, 65. And pre-wash, a 22-minute pre-wash. Well, at least there anyway, so it's 21 minutes long, so it's pretty much no different. Workwear Plus doesn't look any different to Workwear other than the fact that your limited temperature is a bit moved. Then we've got towels. So towels is limited to 40 degrees. It has a maximum of 1400. I've shown it on my channel. It takes longer. There's no options at all other than rinse hold. It will naturally take longer anyway because it's just not actually 31 minutes long. It's a bit based like on the quick wash, but it does 2 rinses. But because it rapidly spins up far too fast, it just suds-locks all the time. Although, saying that, it might have been suds-lock. I've realised I've stuck the hose a little bit too low down into the drain pipe, so it might drain out a lot faster nowadays. Then we've got Towels Plus. It's preset at 60. You can go down to 40. Or we can go up to, well, we'll do 65. So that adds on 5 minutes. And then 17 above adds on 7 minutes. This is just basically based on a cotton cycle. It's a bit shorter. Then we've got options. We've got pre-wash, which adds on a 10-minute pre-wash. No surprises there, really. We notice the towel cycles are pretty short in perspective. Anyway, the towels and whatever I'm going to show now, this is the hairdressing section. So capes are those things they put around your neck to catch all the hair when they're cutting your hair. Anyway, we're limited to 600 RPM, limited to 30, it's 28 minutes long, and we can only have rinse hold. I'm presuming this is going to be based on the Delicates program, no doubt about that. Then, right, so now we've got wet care. Sensitive, max spin is 1100 RPM. Yeah. At 25 degrees. I'm going to search into wet care, see what it really is all about, but yeah. I think wet care is like a dry cleaning cycle, really, kind of. Then we've got wet care silks and wet care intensive. So wet care silks is even shorter. Limited to 600 RPM, limited to 30 rather than 25. And our extras are nothing. Then we've got wet care intensive. It's 36 minutes long, maximum 1100 RPM. You can go up to 40 degrees on this. Minimum of 30 degrees. We've got pre-wash and rinse hold. So our pre-wash is 12 minutes long. Then we've got the normal programs. So we've got Cotton's Hygiene, which you would have seen before, but this time we've got more options, so I can show you. So the duration is 1 hour 3. If we go down to 70, it's still the same. Right, extras. Ready? Intensive. Hands on 18 minutes. Then we've got a pre-wash, which is 8 minutes, which doesn't change. We've done Starch stop in the last one, but I'll just show you now. So it's 48 minutes long now. Then we've got Water Plus. 1 hour 9. So that adds on the upper rinses and has the extra rinse as well. So if I add intensive on top of it, it doesn't change the duration of... Oh, does it? Hang on. I don't think it does. Take wet... No, it doesn't. It doesn't change the duration of intensive. Intensive with pre-wash doesn't change the pre-wash length, and if I put Water Plus on, it doesn't change that either. Then we've got Cotton's Universal, which is your normal, like, quick program. Set at 60 degrees. We've got intensive, 22 minutes added on. It's basically the whole wash over again, to be honest, because the whole wash cycle's, like, main wash is 22 minutes long. Then we've got pre-wash, which is 9 minutes long. And then we've got Water Plus, which adds on an extra rinse. So it's now 4. Or shall I say, it adds on 6 minutes, so it's 55 minutes long. Right, then we've got Cotton's, which is your Cotton Standard program. And of course, this goes from 40 to 60. So you've got standards 40 and standards 50, 55, and drop to 1 hour 40. So that's quite interesting. I'll do Cotton's Universal 40 at some point because it's 2 hours 10, which is a bit weird. This we got a pre-wash, which is 8 minutes long. Oh no, it was on the last one anyway. We've got Water Plus as well, which by the looks of things doesn't add on an extra rinse. Neither at 40, so it's there, but then we've got minimum iron, naturally at 40 minutes long. Go up to 60, which is 55, 55, 50, 45. Minimum mine is really weird on this. 40. And then anything below is the same. So we've got intensive. So it adds on 15 minutes. Go up to 60. This should be 1 hour 10. There we are. Indeed it is. I'll take it off, and then the Water Plus. So Water Plus is 6 minutes longer, so it adds on the extra rinse there. Then we've got Delicates at 33 minutes long, but we can go up to 60 on this. Don't think I showed you that last time actually. I didn't realise I could. So yeah, 60, 55, 50. If you notice, it's exactly like minimum iron in the same way until it gets to 40. So at 60 degrees, it's likely to do a short rinse. On this we can have intensive, so it adds on 10 minutes. Pre-wash will add on 8 minutes and won't affect the intensive balance of things. So yeah. Then we've got woolens. It goes up to 1200 RPM. We go to 40, and here's our extras. Nothing! There's no extras! And we've got starch, if you just want to just starch only. Starch is heated, which can go up to 40 degrees. And this will be in correlation as well to your program as well. So if you select starch stop, it will do the starch cycle, which is about 10 minutes long before doing a final spin. I will show it at some point and I'll test it out because I need you get some special stuff and it makes stuff really stiff and hard, and it's basically ideal for like shirts. So I'll test it out at some point. We've got spin only, which of course doesn't have options. It's still only 6 minutes long. Unless you select cotton standard, it's a bit longer then. Separate rinse. There's no options, so there's no rinse plus. Or rinse hold, come to think of it. Then we've got drain. Right, we've got quick wash, which can go up to 60. There's no water plus. So on the normal washing machine there is, on this there isn't, which is strange. You see, water plus wouldn't necessarily add on time to the wash because it just simply adds on the same amount. Silks. Now water plus is here. Doesn't add on extra rinse, but does up the water levels a fair bit. The thing, so that means just like the it's only max spin temperature of 30. So just like the domesticated machines, exactly the same. We've got shirt cycle, which obviously can go up to 60. Works in the same way like minimum iron. So there we go. If it's like minimum iron, it would have intensity, but there isn't. It's just starch stop and rinse hold. With the spin speed set at 800 RPM. Didn't realise I had a shirts program on it. I didn't realise I got sports wash as well and stuff. It's got everything. Shirts, intensive wash. Basically intensive wash is universal. with a 10-minute added on. So I was kind of not surprised there's no intensive there, but there's also no rinse plus, which is quite annoying. So it's just a normal cotton. It is literally Cotton's Universal with 10 minutes extra on. Not that much different. Then we've got outerwear. We've just got Starch, Stop, Rinse, Hold them. We'll go back. So again, 40 degrees only. Cold to 40. Can't be that much many more. Then we've got proofing. I think we're nearly there now. Start, stop, rinse, hold, and back. Interesting. Hey, yeah. What do you want? Then we've got toweling. Right, so we've got pre-wash, water plus. So water plus doesn't add on extra rinses. It probably just ups the wash and rinse level. Then we've got Express program. Oh god, and there's more. Right, so we've got Express. Yeah, that's it. Right, and then finally we've got Maintenance wash, because the ones after that are the special programs, which I can create. And I've named one duvet and one baby cat, because you can't have more than 7 letters, so I've got a baby care, which I'm going to toy around with, because I'll show you in a minute. So anyway, that's maintenance program. 70 degrees, 13 minutes. It's basically just 13 minutes at 70 degrees bashing water about. And it does a, I think it does a brief spin, even though it doesn't actually say there. Right, so you've got special prog, 5, 4 and 3. These have nothing in. And that's weird. So that's 50 without spin, 22 minutes long. I'll show you actually what comes up first. So whether I've accidentally set that, I don't know. So this is how it normally set up. It's set at 20 degrees without spin, and that's it. Right, now there's something I need to go into. So when I select baby care at 75 degrees, it's 2 hours 1. Because when you go into the parameters, you can select pre-wash, and it gives you 3 different options, which you can select all of. You can select like a delicate, intensive and normal. I think I selected intensive and normal, and all of a sudden it's like 2 hours 1. Same with the main wash, and same with like spin block parameters as well. So not what's going on. For some reason we're limited to 1200 RPM. Okay, I think. Right, so we'll go into that at some point. So, right, that's all the programs and options. Right, what else is there to do?